This is crude oil, pre-market, West Texas crude, West Texas Intermediate for September. On the monthly chart, we are looking at continued downtrend. However, and we have opened right now, right? Or excuse me, we have opened right now. We are 4 minutes into the open. That's okay. A lot of times it's good to wait to set up anyway. So looking at this, we have kind of bottomed out a bit last day or two at the monthly support one at 42.76. We're currently trading, I think it was down to at least 480. No, 42.75 is where it's gotten down to. The support is at 42.76. So right now the early morning low is at 42.75. The previous low was at 42.69 on Tuesday. Anyway, tempo's pretty light right now. Not much happening. But one way to look at this is, we are one time framing down. That's bearish. But this is a 3 gaps down in a candlestick situation. Let me just look at it. This isn't going to make that big a deal, but the candle itself. But if you can see the pattern, how the close is lower last couple times, and I'm sorry, the open's lower than the close, whatnot. Not to mention this physical gap here. We've got a pattern which is a bullish reversal pattern. So is this the lows? I don't know. We've got 42.03. Anything could happen. I wouldn't say it's ready yet. So it's getting there though, maybe. But anyway, that's just something to be aware of at the moment. This is a reversal pattern, the 3 gaps down, meaning the market could be oversold. Anyway, that's the monthly crude. On a weekly basis, things are continuing to look very bearish. We have been one time framing down steadily. I mean, we've got a nice little channel going here, a little trend. We had looked below the weekly balance, tested the bottom of it, and continued down. We went a few ticks below the MS1 2 days ago, and we are still finding acceptance and value down in this area. So that's bearish. The market is going from bear to possibly balancing to possibly bullish or possibly bearish again. But right now we've been sort of balancing in this area. We'll see on a daily chart. And that's really all can be said about the weekly, other than we had gap down 2 weeks ago, and it is important that that usually signifies some continuation for a while, but how long, that's indeterminate. Now on a daily chart, we can start to see the bear to balance situation happening a little more. I may even draw a little balance area in here. At the moment, I'm going to draw it from this high to this low for the moment. So we've got 2 days of balance since we hit the lows and hit the MS1. You can see this morning we opened and traded, I believe, what was it, 40? Yeah, 1 cent below it, and now we're coming back up into yesterday's range again. So today may be another balancing day, don't know, but that's kind of where we are. We've come down. We stopped one-time framing on a correction. Yesterday we were looking to see if we resumed one-time framing. We did not continue to one-time frame. The high here was a little too high. I think it was a dime above Tuesdays. And let's go to the profiles. So we have a very prominent point of control and VPOC up here at 43.29 and 43.34 respectively. We gapped down against yesterday just a little bit. We closed the gap and have traded back outside. I am more inclined to look at balance rules on a 2-day balance and consider for scenario 1 to be, well, let's look at it from the gap situation. Again, we've got kind of a complex situation where there's 2 things in play, which would be gaps and balance. So if we can get inside, we have closed the gap, but if we can find acceptance in the gap and find our way to value unchanged, getting the value area up inside of the value area from yesterday, then that is very bullish. Look for longs or look for rotation and balance within this, within yesterday's range, within the 2-day balance. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2 would be that we again attempt to come in here. Maybe we won't make it through the value area low here of yesterday. Maybe we'll make it up to the TPOC. Either way, if our value is lower or overlapping to lower against yesterday, then I would look for, if we get here and rotate a bit and get kicked out again, then we're going to look at our balance rules against the 2-day balance. We could even get up in here and rotate a bit and get kicked back out. So, excuse me. And a later morning or afternoon liquidation if we cannot get value to unchanged. So that's scenario 2. Scenario 3, we can eliminate because it wasn't gap and go. All right, so we don't have to worry about. Excuse me, the scenario 3 I would have given you had I gotten this done earlier in the morning. That's what I'm trying to say. But we don't have gap and go, and the tempo you can see is very slow, very pedantic. Maybe the word to use. Let me look at the news here real quick. Not really anything I'm seeing as far as energies related that I'm aware of that may affect it. And we've already had the major news for today at 8:30 with the jobless claims and retail sales. So things are a little bit slow right now. And the scenario 3 then I would look at is balance rules against 2-day balance. So against this low, we're going to either look below balance and accelerate, and that would be scenario 3A, or we're going to look below balance and fail. So if we get below the low and we get back in, then I would look for, there's a possibility, of course, of rotation just in this area, okay? But I would think that, the way oil likes to move around, if we get below here and fail, come back in, then I think the game is on for all these upside references. One way to put my line up here I really like the 80% rule, so that may be an opportunity. If we get in here, we're going to get here. It's almost a certainty. And then possibly here, and then the destination would be, in this case, at least up to 60. So we'll see about that, how that plays out. So those are the scenarios for crude oil today.